Tonight, another fire chief is out just 3 months after the Yarnell tragedy. First in Prescott, this time in Yarnell, Jim Coyle is resigning. ABC 15's Elizabeth Irwin joins us now in studio.
And Elizabeth, how's this sitting with people in that town?
Well, not very well for some, but others are happy about it. I spoke with the former Yarnell Fire chief and also a man who lost everything in the fire. They both say this all could have been prevented and that someone needs to be held accountable.
Well, it basically burned my house down, everything I owned, killed my pets, my animals.
Robert Westall lost everything in the Yarnell Hill fire.
I mean, it was the most frightening thing I've ever had happen to me, period.
He says he'll never understand how the fire got this out of control.
I mean, why not fight a 1-acre fire instead of an 8,000-acre fire?
And he's not the only one who feels that way.
You know, we sat and listened to the chief's report, and it sounded to me like locking the barn door after the horse was stolen.
This is Pete Anderson. He used to be Yarnell's fire chief and still lives in the town.
Having been the fire chief here for 12 years, I know most of the people of this town.
His neighbors lost their homes. He was lucky.
Well, we were blessed.
But knowing his friends weren't as fortunate has Pete asking some tough questions.
Why didn't they get this on Friday night?
The Yarnell Hill fire started on Friday, June 28th. Anderson says at that point, crews decided to just let it burn itself out.
To them, this seemed like small potatoes.
2 days later, 19 firefighters died and more than 100 homes burned to the ground.
They didn't do anything about the fire on Friday night. They just let it burn. And when you're this close to population, you don't do that.
Anderson says someone needs to be held responsible for what happened.
I think it was handled extremely poorly. Extremely.
I spoke with a member of the Yarnell Fire Board tonight. She says the chief's decision to resign has been in the works for weeks now and that he thinks it's time for someone younger to take the job. She also said he was content with the role the Yarnell Fire Department played in the Yarnell Hill fire. Katie, Steve?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think someone needs to be held, especially after that report came out.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Elizabeth.